I don't know if we realize this, but perspective is powerful. There's so much that goes on in our thought process. And when we just take the time to really consider what we are thinking, why we are thinking it, and where that thought process came from, I believe we have the capacity to grow in the most amazing and healthy way because we are attentive. Something that I noticed the other day as the temperature is starting to get warmer due to spring hitting Texas, I noticed that when I was a kid and when I was a young lady, I am a chocolate, proud chocolate girl, and I remember when we were younger and when summer came or when it was hot outside and we'd go outside, the sun would deepen the melanin in my skin, and so I would appear darker. And no one would have thought that that was a thing, right? But someone on the outside looking in can sometimes take what is so innocent, so precious, and taint it. And I remember, being called different things or saying, "Oh, you're dark," ha 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 ha. And I'm not saying that that came from people who didn't look like me. It typically came from people who actually look like me. But it was this negative connotation connected to having browned skin. And I can remember subconsciously by dealing with that, it was like I tried my hardest in different ways not to be exposed to the sun so much that it would change the color of my skin to the point of ridicule. So, and this is just real vulnerable, real transparent. So the other day, this story came to mind because the other day I went outside, and lately I've been loving the sun because it has been a lot of rain, a lot of clouds, a lot of storm, and I have been loving the sun against my skin. Oh my gosh, it's just been a beautiful feeling. And so I'll go sit on a swing and let the sun hit my skin. I'll go stand in the sun, go outside and work out. Like those have been my last few days lately. And the other day, I so happened to look in the mirror and I noticed that my skin is a little tinted. And when I looked at my skin, this joy entered my heart, this appreciation that I've never really experienced before. And it was that, wow, your skin is browning because you're able to get up and go outside and spend time in the sun. There are people who can't even get out of their bed, let alone out of their home, let alone in the sunshine. But you have the capacity to get up and get out. The fact that your skin is changing is the fact that you are getting up, out, moving, living, breathing. And so when I was a child dealing with the effects of outside opinions on who I was, outside thoughts of who I was, that began to shape an immature perspective. But as an adult who has matured from that mindset, the very thing that was something of ridicule back then has become a treasure, a gift, something that I appreciate, something that I value. I love the richness of my skin. I love who God made me to be. I love the fact that I can get out into the sun. And even though this may sound crazy, or it may be such a simple analogy, that is the brilliance and beauty of perspective. Perspective matters, and it should transform as we grow and as we age. We should not think the same at 30, 40, 60 that we did at 15, 10, 25. There should be progress. And I would love to challenge you who are listening on what is your perspective in different areas. Challenge yourself on that. Why do you think the way you think? Where did those thoughts come from? What planted those thoughts into your life, and why do you choose to live by them in that way? And that will begin to show you the root of your thoughts, whether they're good or bad. Some perspectives are amazing. It's good to have that perspective. Where did that come from? When it comes to you, when it comes to others, when it comes to God, why do you have the perspective that you have formed? And are you willing, ready, and able to heal, forgive, and grow? This is Jessica Poche, author of Praying for My Husband Head to Heels. And this is just a word of encouragement about the power of perspective. Have a great evening.